The creator of Black Clover, Tabata, in one of the recent volumes, he spoke about a wide variety of different things. We're going to read everything Tabata had to say because, yeah, the man had a lot to say. Before we get started, if you would hit that subscribe button and hit that bell to get notified, we drop new episodes of FORNEVERNEWS every Saturday, 12 p.m. EST, and throughout the week, we re-upload those segments into smaller bits for your viewing pleasure. What are you waiting for? Let's get into the news, shall we? Translation, Volume 33, Afterword from Tabata-sensei. While I've been busy, my daughter turned 3 years old. I was surprised at how big a 3-year-old is. My powerless arms can only float her in the air playing Anpanman for a short run around. Anpanman is a Japanese children's superhero cartoon, and the character flies around in it. Now when my daughter shouts, "Papa-chan, horse-chan," I must run there and put her on my back with a knee. Get it, like, meow. The other day, my daughter was down with a cold and got hospitalized for a week. It was very lonely without her at home. I nearly cried when I saw her in good health at the hospital. Well, I actually cried. Now she's back safe and sound running around. When I got contacted that my manga got a reprint, we were shouting, "Reprint! Reprint!" together with my wife dancing a mysterious dance. My beloved dog was going wild over it. Family is the best. Yo, that puts a tear to my eye. I ain't gonna lie. Like, shout outs to Tabata. That's so dope. Him and his family celebrating while people are being absolute cretins and disgusting creatures online, you know, constantly talking about Black Clover sales. This man gets a reprint and he starts celebrating with his family in a sweet and innocent way. Like, I don't know. The internet sometimes gets me disgusted when you read shit like this. Like, yo, he's a wholesome dude, dog. Get off of his case. But then we got a lot more, so let's just read. Since there's room to spare, I'll tell you a bit about my story. If you're not interested, just skip it. As a nursery school child, I loved drawing Dragon Ball. Then I learned about Weekly Shonen Jump and about being a mangaka, and I thought, isn't that the greatest job? And so I decided to become a mangaka as my future dream. So how does one become a mangaka? Well, if you're good at drawing, you can make it, is what I used to think as a shallow boy, just drawing whatever I wanted to and getting into manga, mainly battle shonen. When I was in primary school, I used to look at the dots in the screen tones of manga and I thought, what are these dots? Are they just drawing dots? What? It was very precise and there were so many of them. If I become a mangaka, will I be able to draw these easily? And I used to think such idiotic things like that. I used to draw manga like drawings of Dragon Ball and Yu Yu Hakusho on paper with a pencil, taped and stapled these together and made a tankobon, like basically a paperback copy, manga for his own little self-satisfaction. I was a fairly fast runner in primary school, and when I entered middle school, I joined the track and field club. I was running around like an idiot, sweating like an idiot, taking a bath, and then eating the most delicious rice. One day at the department store, I came across a place that seemed to be the art materials section for manga. I was like, what the? Do pros draw manga with this kind of stuff? Well, let's do it. And then I thought, art materials are expensive. And with that, I bought a starter set that included a book on how to draw manga and a set of simple drawing materials. At that time, digital drawing was not a thing. And then I was introduced to drawing with a G pen, a mapping pen, and dip pen. What? How do I draw this? Oh, no. What's this for? This is so bad. How much do I add and subtract? There's no way I can draw well. Despair. Huh? What is this? The screen tone? These dots, I need to apply these. As I despaired due to it being very difficult to draw with a dip pen, I asked myself once again, so how does one become a mangaka after all? I was frustrated. Then I learned that one should first draw their manga and then go to the editorial department of a magazine to submit a piece of work or enter for a manga award. I lived in Fukuoka Prefecture and decided to submit my work for the monthly weekly Shonen Jump Manga Award. I can't draw hyper well with a dip pen, but I guess I'll just get used to it if I keep drawing. What kind of stories are good? Something that people are moved by emotionally. And like that, I didn't know what I was doing, but I kept drawing at a leisurely pace while living my middle school life. Despite liking fantasy battle manga, I took half a year to draw 31 pages of a strange youth manga, and then I said, hey, isn't this taking too long? I spent a lot of time on the faces on page 1, yet the latest pages look a bit different, but it does look better. No, just no. I will, this month, for sure, submit this, I decided, the day before the deadline, but then I despaired again and thought, well, I just can't make it in time, but I really wanted to submit it, so for the first time in my life, I stayed up all night, somehow finished it, stopped by the post office before going to school in the morning, submitted it, and then went to school. I was really excited as I was waiting for the results and opened the Jump announcements page, but then nothing came for my second year of middle school, grade 8. Age 13 through 14. Submission. I felt very sad. I had no idea what was wrong with what I had worked on for half a year and felt lonely without any acknowledgement. I mean, I was like, I don't even know if the manuscript was delivered and read. I don't know. is how I felt at that point. Well, I had no choice but to draw, so I spent another half a year or so drawing a fantasy manga and submitted it again for the monthly Jump Award, at which point I was in my third year of middle school, grade 9. This time I was one step away from being a finalist. Well, at least they did read it. Well, I don't know, but I need to draw more. And with that mindset onwards, I was awarded a special jury prize for the fantasy battle manga I submitted in my first year of high school, grade 10, age 15 to 16. Well, I suppose it's a good thing I sent my submission, but what's going to happen now? Then I received a call from the editorial department of Jump from the person who was going to become my first editor. So I received a special award at the monthly Jump Awards and was assigned an editor for the first time, but I was a first year high school student and had no idea what to expect. Without knowing the slightest thing, we exchanged a few phone calls and decided to draw a storyboard and send it to the editor, T-san. Without drawing a manuscript, they can just look at the storyboard, I happily thought. I merely submitted a lazy but dark storyboard about a demon who has amnesia. T-san said, "What? Is this really the kind of story you would like to draw? I thought you wanted to draw more shonen-like, meant for boys, stories, and I believe that's what you're better suited for." I felt a bit lost and just said, "Sure." Then at some point, T-san gave me a phone call and said he'd be transferred to another department and would be replaced by his Ohai junior colleague, Isan. My first ever editor left in a flash and we've never even met. I had no idea what was going to happen. While not knowing what to expect, I was waiting for a phone call from my second editor, Isan. But no matter how long I waited while living my high school life, I never received a phone call from Isan. Oi, oi, oi. T-san used to contact me once a month, but now it's been half a year. What is the meaning of this? I thought without knowing anything. Since I was not sure what was going on, I decided to submit a manuscript to Jump's monthly competition again. I drew a shonen fantasy battle manga again in a lazy way and submitted it when I was a third year high school student. In the meantime, Isan still didn't contact me. I don't get anything at all anymore. This is bad, I thought. However, I wanted to become a manga artist and so didn't pursue higher education and didn't want to do another job. All I knew was I was in trouble. After graduating from high school, I became a freelancer. While doing a part-time job at motorwear service area, I met a friend from my junior high school track and field club and we started hanging out together. We played a lot of card games and Momotaro Densetsu together all night long. It was a somewhat dark period of my life, but I felt like I was in my youth again. In the meantime, I continued to draw fantasy battle manga manuscripts, and I submitted a manuscript at the age of 18 or 19 to Jump's monthly award again. I was really surprised when I received a phone call from the editorial department saying I got an editor. I was so happy, but I just mumbled something like, "I'm very glad, but a bit confused. I think Isan might be in charge of being my editor." After a while, the person who called me said, "I checked again, and I'm in charge of being your editor now. Looking forward to working with you. I don't really understand what's happening, but I changed editors again, apparently." This was W-san, who sometimes appears in my author comments in the contents page of Jump. W-san is a lively man who talks a lot, and me, known to my friends as Taba who talks a lot, had to keep up with him. We exchanged phone calls with W-san, and I faxed my storyboards to him. Now it's all done online, social media in Japan, or email. Eventually, I created a manuscript and submitted it to the Tazuka and Akatsuka Awards. At the age of 19, I received an honorable mention from the Tazuka Award. When I was younger, I used to play basketball with my friends till the evening on the outdoor basketball court in the vicinity of the industrial park. One day I got incredibly sunburnt midsummer, and the next day I went to attend the Tazuka Akatsuka Award party to Tokyo. Since it was embarrassing, I took pictures of myself when it was pitch dark. It was then that I met W-san for the first time. He was tall and athletic. It seemed like he played way more basketball than I did. After that, I prepared a storyboard for a special issue of Jump that was meant for newcomers, and the story was accepted for publication. I was thinking, somehow it's going too well. And I know that was lengthy as hell, but that is fascinating that Yuki Tabata, author of Black Clover, ran for a while without an editor, and then he had to resubmit again. It was almost as if like he got lost or dropped in the shuffle of things and pretty much had to resubmit all over again, which is kind of crazy, man. Tabata's been through some stuff, though. Shout outs to Tabata either way, with his wholesome life and his incredible journey to get to where he's at right now. Yeah, Yuki Tabata for the win. As I said, Black Clover again will be on a sudden break. However, Black Clover and Jujutsu Kaisen will both be on break next week in Weekly Shonen Jump issue number 51. However, Jujutsu Kaisen will be resuming in issue 52, although I believe again Black Clover was scheduled to go on break there. So Jujutsu Kaisen will just be taking 1 week, Black Clover 2 weeks. I wanted to give you guys this news because I've been talking about this manga in the author comments forever, but apparently we got it official that Ranger Rejects getting an anime. Sentai Sentai Daishikaku by Gotobun no Hanyome creator Negi Haruba is getting an anime adaptation, judging from a recent web domain, English titled Go Go Loser Ranger. I love that. I prefer that over Ranger Reject. Let's go. Go Go Loser Ranger. That would be fire. And I think if they position this thing right and they get all of the old heads that used to watch Power Rangers and see this flip and new take on all of that stuff, I think that this could go. I'm just keeping it real. If they position this right and they reach the right audience. I have cousins that used to love Power Rangers. If they saw something like this that's actually like taking a jab and at the same time having fun with Power Rangers, I think that this could go. I'm gonna just keep it real. But either way, that's very exciting news.